I really think that I have a problem. My entire life is spent behind a screen. And today, we're gonna change that. I don't think I was made for the digital world. Even though I can't remember a time where I wasn't behind a computer screen. I've always preferred to write out all my notes instead of typing them. I love drawing in sketchbooks, taking analog photos, and I always carry a book around with me, because nothing can beat the feeling of flipping a page. Some would say that I like to make my life a little bit harder than it has to be. But to me, this is nice. That is, until I ran into a problem. Recently, I've been feeling sort of in a slump because of my videos. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love making them, but what I realize is that I don't like that every part of it has to be done from behind a screen. The writing, filming and editing, everything. It's a stark difference from when I was young. Back then, I tried to do a lot of my hobbies away from a screen, and now I was stuck behind one. Looking back on this, I realized that all my hobbies had one thing in common. They gave me a reward. For drawing, it was my finished sketchbooks. For photos, it was the prints. And for reading, it's the fact that I get to fill up one of my bookshelves with all the books that I've read. So I soon realized that the problem I was having with my videos came from the fact that I didn't get a reward. I didn't get something I could look back on away from my screen. So I started thinking of ways how I could combat this problem and create something that was a reward. Soon after I had this realization and I was thinking of what I could change, I came to the conclusion that I needed to focus on transforming the first part of my process, the ideation and writing part. You see, my brain is always on the move, always thinking of new ideas for both videos and personal works. Right now, however, it's not done in an organized way. Some parts are in my notes app, other parts are in a Word document I'll never find again, and then lastly I have multiple notebooks. There's one that lives in a coat pocket, one that is always on my desk, and then the last one lives in a bag. No organization whatsoever. The solution to this problem was really easy. I clearly love notebooks, so I decided to just ditch Word and the Notes app and just get a singular notebook that would hold everything. Now this solution was absolutely perfect, because I felt way more motivated to write because I had a reward. And I thought that this was a solution to all my problems. But unbeknownst to me, there was an even bigger problem that would soon come up.
It was actually so much worse.
It was me. I was the problem. Okay, that's a bit dramatic.
No, it isn't.
It's just that my handwriting is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it is.
After I write something, I sort of feel like an archaeologist trying to decipher Egyptian hieroglyphs. Okay, that's also really dramatic, but my writing gets messy really easily, so using a notebook didn't fit my needs.
Stop being picky.
Every time I would write something and wanted to add notes, it would sort of all turn into a big mess of words and colors, so I had to eliminate using a notebook for writing scripts. After this, I tried using Post-its. I love that you can put them everywhere you want. It allows me to visualize the course of my video. But the main problem here was that they are really small, so writing full stories on them is impossible. Now at this point, I didn't really know what other options I had. But that's when I realized that maybe my very modern problem required a historical solution.
Okay, tell me more.
Maybe I had to make my life a little harder than it has to be once again.
No, you don't.
And I ended up doing exactly that.
Oh, come on.
Instead of, like, changing up my handwriting or organizing my notes better, I decided that it was a good idea to buy a typewriter.
Oh, what an idiot.
I know I probably sound ridiculous, but using a typewriter has been amazing. The typewriter, of course, has its own font, and to me, it's really easy to read. Way better than my own handwriting.
That's not difficult, no, is it?
Now, if I type out my script on a typewriter, I can then go in with highlighters and pens to add in extra notes. I can even use post-its to draw storyboards and add those to my script. Honestly, I'm sold. This has been fantastic, and I don't think I'll ever go back to my computer. Now, you could say that a typewriter is horrible because it makes so much noise. Yes, it does, and I think it's great. I love the little clicky sounds it makes. And you could say, oh, but it's a lot of manual labor. Yes, it is, and I love it. Doing everything on a computer just feels way too easy. So I love the fact that I have to do a little bit of manual labor in order to do this. Alright, so, moral of the story. Maybe next time you're dealing with a problem, instead of thinking, how can I make my life easier, you should be thinking, how can I make my life a little bit harder? And that's all from me today, folks. I'll see you in the next one.